So welcome to the show, Jenny Mitchell. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Long time no see. Oh, that's a little bit of a lie because obviously we caught up a couple of weeks ago, but it's been a while since I actually saw you in person, back in
Yeah,
September, I think.
on one of those ropey courses where you go because you think you're going to get something out of it, and then someone wants to march you to the back of the room.
Yeah, exactly. And we both sat there going, we're not going, we're not going.
Seen this before, more than
Yes.
once.
Yeah, I absolutely detest those places. I really do. I'm so
I don't mind.
anti.
Yeah, I don't mind them if you can get value out of it, even if you get a couple of nuggets out of it.
Yes.
Luckily, I met you, so that one
Exactly. That's a big nugget.
exactly networking. Love it.
We met each other at an event, one of those events that was pitched as free. Um, and I don't mind, obviously nothing's free, and I don't mind that there's an upsell, but it was like a bloody hour of it, wasn't it? Sitting there going, oh my God, get me a cab. Anyway, so Jenny, tell us about you and kind of your journey, because you definitely, I have a thing about Phoenix rising, okay, kind of out of the fire, out of the ashes comes the next best version of us. And you've certainly been in the fire and walked out stronger. So just tell us a little bit about you and your story.
Hmm. Where do I start? When you go down Cobble Road with all this. No, I'm joking. I don't know where to start. The business that I'm in now is probably the best way to start. I started lockdown, just before lockdown. I was running a cleaning business before lockdown, and then obviously lockdown hit, and then it was all of
Mm,
it, wasn't great, was it? But I was still cleaning properties for my husband that opened a serviced accommodation business, and but he just never had time to run it. He was just like doing it half-heartedly, and it was just not like really doing great. So I ended up after as lockdown was with us, I jumped on board with that. So helping doing the management. We had a lot of key workers then. You've got to remember is
mm,
we allow key workers standing properties. So I jumped on board with that, and I ended up just learning about it, took some training in it, and obviously my husband just let me run with it because he had a groundswork business and it was took a lot of his time up. So I ended up giving the cleaning business to my daughter, who runs it really well now, and I run this. And I've done so for about 5 years now, 7 years, 5 7. How long's it been since lockdown? Every day seems to just
I know. It
roll
seems
over.
like it's simultaneously years ago, but yesterday.
It's just horrid because I just feel like the months go so quick. And
Yeah.
then I don't know, I think, when you get drawn to stuff, like, at that sort of time was down on my luck a bit. We was like, it weren't great. We sold our family home before the lockdown and we lived in a caravan to find somewhere else. So we've been rock bottom, but now, like, it's like anything, isn't it? You just got to keep punching, ain't you?
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to give up and you just think, I'm a big believer. It's like, fuck it, it's what it is. Just
Yeah.
big girl's pants on and just keep punching. And having
Yeah.
a really good support system around you helps. So then that's how the business sort of grew from there. It's just like you've the training really helps. So I won't mention the training, but then it's just it helps to have training in something, especially to do with this. People, they take a 3-day course and they're like, yeah, I can do this. I'm a professional now. I've got a certificate.
Yeah.
It's bollocks because you just got to, you can't sell something if you don't know about it. So, and
Yeah.
that's where a lot of people are going wrong, I think. So, and the business is just grown from there. I do a lot of contract bookings, so I don't do Airbnb. There's a lot of Airbnb, booking.com, ones like that. I try not to do the holiday makers with serviced accommodation. It's like Airbnb. So, we do
Yeah.
short-term lets, and I stick to long-term. And I do direct straight to the companies. So we deal with contract
Right.
companies. and we work with a lot of big companies to do so. And they start from about a week, 2 weeks, up to 2 years. So I
Yeah.
like doing direct bookings. That's my niche. That's what I do. And to be quite honest with you, I love doing it. I've built some great, relationships with business owners and stuff like that to where we are now. I work with a lot of SA operators as well, like serviced accommodation operators, and we help them fill their properties as well, because we get so many contract companies coming to us asking for us to stay. So,
Yeah.
and we get a lot of landlords approaching us now. Obviously, there's a lot of stigma with having tenants. Tenants are like princesses. They have too many rights. Landlords just don't have a leg to stand on. It's
Mm,
so bad that tenants are doing this to landlords.
yeah.
But the country's, I can't even go there. There's a bit going down that road. But so I'm trying
Yeah.
to help landlords that are struggling with a property and trying to find a solution for them. So we're just
It's
trying to like help landlords get a better return without having tenants.
Yeah, and actually, it's really interesting because if you think about what you've just said, you've got like some real niches with who your clients are. So you've got companies, corporates, organizations that would come straight to you. You've got agencies that do that, thing in the middle. I remember when I moved up to Yorkshire first in 2010, I I was headhunted by a company and they actually did everything for me. Like they found my accommodation until I could find somewhere to live and all of that while I was doing that. So they did all of that. And my company paid them. I never paid anything for any of that. I lived rent free for about a year, I think,
Nice.
while I sorted out, my role up there and everything. But then you've also, I suppose, what's opened up is that direct to landlord space where, I suppose that wasn't a thing. I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago. Was that just starting to emerge that landlords were suddenly realizing that they could, actually make their property work harder for them without having a tenant in there sitting for however long they sit there for?
I think it's because the rent reform bill came out and made it 50 times as worse for landlords. Like some people are not meant to be landlords, they've just become a landlord either through death, divorce, anything like that. So
Yeah,
haven't intentionally wanted to be a landlord, but they haven't had no choice. So they're the
yeah,
people I love working with because I really love helping people that are struggling with a property that's empty. They've got to still pay the bills on it.
yeah,
So, so, so we're basically trying to say to people, like, if you've got another property, give us a call. Let's see if we can brainstorm something, see if you can
yeah,
get income from it, and just stuff like that. Just trying to help people, like there's plenty of people out there taking your money off you.
yeah.
you know,
So how did you get into this space? Like, so how comes you didn't? I know you said your husband was doing like serviced accommodation, but like, how did you find your niche in this? Like, how comes you didn't do what everyone else seems to do? They go, oh, let's buy property and then let's just rent it out to
we've done that,
one
but we've done
tenant.
that. Yeah, we've
Yeah,
done that years and years ago in Brighton, and we used to flip properties in Brighton. And if
yeah,
we get them all now, we'd be laughing.
yeah,
Because obviously, but we wasn't taught that you should keep properties, you should
mm,
you should refinance properties. We were just taught when we were younger is you work hard, you get a mortgage, and that's how it is, and just
yeah.
live, upgrade every 5 years to a bigger house or a smaller house or whatever.
Yeah. And
So
I always think, oh God, I wish I'd known about this when me and my husband were first, we're going back to the 80s now. Not, you could tell, not my nice grey hair. Going back to the 80s, it was like an amazing thing that you even got a bloody property. Because I remember my first mortgage was 13% on the mortgage. And the day we moved into our I would say apartment, but it was a flat. The day we moved into our flat, my husband was made redundant, and we were like, "Oh my God, what are we going to do?" But and then of course, then as you sort of grew into and grew out of your place, you upgraded, but you just sold it and then got a new mortgage. And then the next one you sold and got a new mortgage. I never ever thought to think about keeping it and then earning money from it. It just wasn't a thing.
But then I do think is if your parents had a mortgage when you were younger and had a normal 9 to 5 job, your children are going to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm a big believer. My dad was very entrepreneurial, but he was small time. Like he used to repair vehicles, buy cars.
Mm,
Anything to do with cars he used to do. He never used
yeah,
to work from 9 to 5. And then you sort of that's ingrained in me somewhere. So I
yeah.
had jobs, but I'd work at them for a couple of years and then I would be like so bored and I'd work up and then I'd be running the show and then I'd be bored now. And the
Yeah.
thing is you don't know till you get late. Like I've been diagnosed with ADHD. I just thought I was a little shit.
But you
But
were, Jenny, probably.
that's how you see it. So I was dyslexic at school and stuff like that,
Yeah,
but I wasn't very good at reading or so to me, when you are growing up and you're doing the because I worked so quick to become higher up in the business, in the end it wasn't challenging enough for me. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
ended up doing my own stuff. And then that's where it grows from there, is where you just keep growing and growing and growing, don't you? So
yeah, yeah,
and that's embedded in me. Like, but then my daughter's now runs a cleaning company. Now she's going on bigger things. So she's done a biohazard cleaning and she wants to do all stuff like that. And
yeah.
she's pricing jobs up like Brighton Pier, Brighton Palace Pier.
Oh my days. I love that your daughter's it's kind of like become like a family thing. Like, so you took it on from your husband, but your husband does the groundworks. You were doing the cleaning, then now you do the properties, but your daughters took over the cleaning business. I think that's really lovely. And I suppose it's a little bit like you said, you see your dad doing that, and your daughter sees her mum and her dad in business. I think it makes it a more natural space to go. Whereas I think for a lot of young people, starting a business is not seen as like a legitimate job. It's like go to university, get a corporate job, or get some sort of career or profession. And then starting a business comes much later for a lot of us, because we've not seen it and we don't see it as a like a legitimate opportunity.
Well, you're so true though with what you're saying though. It's like us, my 16-year-old daughter, me and my husband took her out of school before,
Mm,
drew her out of school a couple of years ago, to be quite honest with you. Now all the big time players are taking their kids out and homeschooling their kids. We've done that 2 years ago because I knew
yeah,
I went through the school system and I was hard to believe it. I went through private school education.
right.
I went through both, and it was just they were teaching the same thing to her as they were teaching me all those years ago. And I was like,
Mm,
and then they're teaching her about some weird stuff at school, weird. And that to me, I was like the icing on the cake. She wasn't happy there, so game changer.
yeah,
And she'll
yeah.
be entrepreneurial as well because she's listening and surrounded by people that are doing it.
Yeah.
Couple of my
And
daughters
also,
have got a job and they go and they love it. They work for, I think two of them work for like in the NHS system and they love it.
yes,
And I love that they have, they do what they do. So you can see on both sides of the fence.
yeah, yeah.
But
And I think it's about, especially I think if you're doing something in business, it normally, you've got to be passionate about it. You've got to love what you're doing. I think it's hard to make it work if you don't. But equally, if you've got family working in like the NHS and social care, I think they're they also love what they do. It's a vocation, isn't it? It's because you
absolutely.
can't do that unless you love what you do and you
No.
really care. And
Yeah.
I don't, I hats off to anyone who works in those sectors, and also in schools. I just couldn't do it. I literally couldn't do it. But we do need people that can do that.
Yeah, but there's not many people that wanting to do it now. because
No.
the money's shit, the hours are shit, everything's shit about it. They don't make it anything sparkly.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that's what
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I think, yeah, for anything in that sort of service or health and care and young people, there's a lot that needs to change, isn't there? To sort of like recognize what they do, to support them. There was, I suppose COVID is a good example. There was all that let's go outside and bang our saucepans together to
Yeah.
say thank you to all of these people. And yet the minute sort of COVID's over and they're done with it, like we forget again, and we still don't put the salaries, the money for their salaries to go up. And we create an environment where small business owners can't afford to pay them because of everything else that they've got to pay out, all the other red tape. And
That's this country. Got nothing else to say about that, unless we do
yeah.
another podcast and we can all
Yeah,
have a
let's do
very
another
good
one where
rant.
we just totally have a rant about that, because I literally have just got off the phone today speaking to somebody in Dubai. I'm seriously considering moving to Dubai. And I honestly don't know what anyone is doing to support small business owners in the UK. It's literally all of the support and stuff that I know was there since about 1988, because I was involved in a lot of that. There was always policies to support and encourage small businesses and to help them to grow, to employ more people, to create more GDP for our country, and to get rid of red tape and everything that was in the way of stopping them. And now I've just seen over 8-10 years, all of that just disappear.
What they do is, let's tax them people more because they're
Yeah.
working the hardest.
And then I'll tell you what, then let's tax them, the employees that they take on, even more,
Yeah.
and tax
Oh
the
yeah.
employer. I know lots of people, a lot of my sort of clients are in care, children and young people, like all of those sectors, because mostly it's women that run those businesses.
Yeah.
And they literally cannot afford to take on any more people. And they're looking for other ways of either finding a new way to earn money for themselves, or looking at how can they keep their businesses going and support the policies, like kids of age 6 months now, is it, can go and have a nursery place. That's brilliant, that helps women, but we can't afford to provide the places because you've just hurt the companies that are running the businesses.
That's why everyone's thinking about moving abroad somewhere
Yeah.
where they're not just trying to just take us for fools. I how can I explain it? Yeah, I could have a massive debate about this. I'm just speaking with a couple of people now in other countries, and yeah,
Mhm. All
there's a
right
lot
then, Jenny, we'll watch this
coming.
space. So going back to, you said about your ADHD, and like, so you were saying it's only recently that you've sort of, I don't know if you've been diagnosed or come to realize, but that is another thing that I'm noticing with a lot of my clients who are all our age and above, let's say midlife. I hate that term, but let's say midlife. And they're
Maybe in
suddenly
your
just thinking
50s,
about, yeah,
50s.
sort of late 40s, 50s, suddenly thinking, I think menopause is happening, been
Don't even
through,
go there.
going through all of
Don't even go
that.
there.
Let's
Oh,
go there. And then on top of that, what we're seeing is that women, particularly with ADHD, ADD, autism, all of those sort of different parts of that spectrum, are either being diagnosed or suddenly coming to the realization that actually that is me. I felt like this all my life. Suddenly I realize it. So what sort of structures or tools or systems do you put in place, Jenny, to like help you manage through that? I mean, obviously you've only kind of just come to that realization, but there must have been some things that you were doing that you now realize actually that's helped me, manage this for me.
yeah. So obviously menopause, if you speak to my husband, have you seen that film or program called Killing Eve?
Oh no.
Okay.
I have seen it about, but I've never actually
Yeah.
watched it.
Don't watch that. That's what my husband said I was like when I went through the menopause. So I ended up going to find out about it. I had to find out about it. And then I kept doing really weird stuff. So I had to fill in a questionnaire, which to me, how can you diagnose someone with a questionnaire? But you can. So I just filled the questionnaire in and they just said to me, oh, you've got ADHD. And I said, well, how can you diagnose it with that? Like, I'm just, how can you do it? And the
Yeah.
questions that you answer, because obviously you can't get an appointment at the doctors now because that's an
No.
impossibility. After COVID, you know, they have to diagnose you over the phone. You have to speak to about 15 people. Then you can go to the doctors. But
Again, it's all total bollocks. You know, if you were running that as a business, it wouldn't be like that, would it? You know, you'd be open, you know,
like,
8, 7 in the morning till 10 at night. You would, you know, if you only have to look at private practices and see how they run and just go,
yeah,
it's total BS the way they run it.
just
And it was total BS what they did through COVID. But again, that's a whole nother podcast.
exactly. And I love talking about stuff like that because that's when you get on a good rant.
Yes.
I said I got ADHD, and I was like, okay, I've lived with it all my life. I was a little bit of a shit of a child. Maybe that's why. Every time I always found as well is every time I was doing something, something else would catch my attention, and then I'd be doing
Mm,
that. It's like the shiny penny
yeah.
syndrome, and I was
Yeah.
really bad at it, like literally. And then I'd run up the stairs. Most women go through this. You run up the stairs, and you're like, what was I coming up here for?
Yeah.
And most people like, I
What
was
am I
just like,
doing
oh,
here?
yeah. I was just like, oh. So they diagnose, most people go, I've got ADHD, that's why I can't do it. ADHD, trust you me, I don't give a shit what people say. It's a superpower, but you just got to know how to handle it. Like you
Yeah.
just have to, I write myself list after list after list. I've got an ops manager, and I'll fill you in about that after, and I must do her nut in because
Yeah.
I WhatsApp her my lists of the day.
Ah,
So yeah, so I WhatsApp her my list of the day, and I wake up at 1 in the morning sometimes, and my list is going. Here
yeah.
goes my, and
Yeah.
then she'll monitor my progress through the day because of the shiny penny syndrome.
Mm.
So I have to. I'm a bit weird, but weird's good. Weird's good, but
Yeah, and I
yeah,
think I probably am. If I did that questionnaire, I'd be somewhere. I mean, it's called a spectrum for a reason, isn't it? Because we're all on it, I suppose. But like, I know I have always been like that as well. I find it so hard to concentrate, and in some ways, I've always thought, oh, that's an entrepreneurial trait. I should be running my own business. And for years, I wanted to do that before I ever kind of had the confidence to get out. Or, well, I was booted out of corporate, so I didn't have to have the confidence. I had to do something about that. But like I always thought, oh, well, it's an entrepreneurial trait. You know, I love new things. I love to be working like up here in the blue sky. And then when I've done that, I'm like, well, I'm bored with that now. I can't complete and finish that. Someone else needs to do that for me. And then I'm on to the next thing. So that's how I've always positioned that for me.
I
But
think
then,
being a woman, just being a woman, you're like that because there's so many things
yes,
going through your brain. You're like, I've got to do that, got to do that. Then I've got to sort the kids out. Then I've got to
yeah,
do the housework, you know, it's a lot of stuff for a woman to acknowledge being a businesswoman as well, and running a house and bringing up
yeah,
children.
and a husband.
That's like another child, yes. So yeah,
Yes, grown up child. No, and you know, I totally agree with you because, yeah, I think even if we went to cave woman, okay, and they all say this as like men were focused, went out, caught the prey, you know, focused on with their spear, and let's get some dinner, honey.
yeah.
I suppose that's changed. The men don't necessarily go out and get the dinner. That's a sweeping generalization, but we know what we know. And
Yeah.
you know, so the women were left back at the cave, keeping the fire going, always having some, you know, hot meat or whatever there was to forage, look after the kids out the corner of their eye. So like that has been, is what's the saying, time and memoriam, like that has been women, hasn't it? So like I
Exactly.
suppose it is ingrained in us.
Yeah.
Which is why I suppose when a lot of women start a business, it's often about serving and supporting someone or a group of people. And we want to give, we want to support, we want to serve, we want to help people. It's kind of what you said at the beginning, is I want to help landlords. So we're helping different people in different ways, but that's fundamentally what drives us.
I think being women as well is we're nurturing, we're very nurturing.
Mm.
And I see a lot of people out there running businesses and they're very for themselves. They don't, they'll step on you just to get to where they've got to go. Where I'm funny who I work with now. I'll
Yeah.
only spend my time with people that I actually want to be around. It's just I don't want to waste my time in my life for people that have got no relevance to me whatsoever. Because I'm happy
Mm.
to pick the phone up to anybody to help anybody out.
Yeah.
And I only want to be around people that they say that I only want to be around people that smile when you enter a room. I haven't
Mm.
got my time of that negative shit, and I'm over it. I can be very negative myself. If I'm on a bad day, I do a lot on TikTok now. So I do like the happy gen and the shitty gen. And I went swimming the other month and I had a rant and I thought I'll put it on TikTok. Everyone loves a rant on TikTok. So I don't put it on my socials, just TikTok. So I just
Yeah.
loose on TikTok because life's so much simpler.
I love that.
It's just sometimes you're just anybody, male, female, whoever you are. It's good to have a rant, but I just get a bit fed up with the people that you spend time with. I like helping anyone. Like I was saying to you, is I'm happy to help anybody because
Yeah.
I've been there and I've not had no one to help me.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
lonely place. What I do for a living is a very lonely place. Being a serviced accommodation operator, it's very lonely because you work a lot from home and you're still doing a lot online and stuff like that. And it's lonely. So I speak to other SA operators and I always say to them, look, if you want to phone up, pick my brains, whatever, just do it. Or if they know anybody that's got or anybody knows me. Most people that know me go, right, I know someone that needs that or just some advice on that. Just pick the phone up, like whatever.
Yeah.
HMOs, anything you got to do, shitty guests. That's normally a good one. I'm
Yeah.
with the shitty guests. I've had
Oh,
plenty.
I mean that's so. I always think, like, in any business. Well, one, if you're female, it's unusual. Women still start up businesses like massively less than men do. So we are a different beast. There's not many of our friends or family that do what we do. So it is lonely. And then if you're in certain sectors, it's even more lonely, I think.
Right.
And probably the way we all work now, where we can be really flexible, which is what a lot of women need. So we can work online and we can do the stuff that we need to do when we want to do that in our business. But then equally, that makes us lonely. So it's like you say, it's very isolating.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's lovely that you've got that sort of advice or that piece that says, sorry, I'm just going to say, my husband, after telling him not to walk in the room while we're doing a podcast, has just opened the door.
Hello.
Anyway, yeah, he's gone back now and I've just remembered.
He's
But
hid under the rug outside the front door thinking.
he's definitely got ADHD. He doesn't remember a thing I say to him. Yeah. Anyway, so what was I saying? We'll have to cut this bit out or leave it in. Who knows? Yeah. So it is so good that that's what you say, is like, if you're stuck and you need to support, then ring me, help me. And I'm like that with my clients and people around me as well. I think it doesn't cost a lot to just give someone 5 or 10 minutes to either pick up the phone and say I'm really stuck, or jump online and have a chat, or
Yeah, but
just
it's
have a
like yet
rant.
again, it's like the menopause. Not many. I didn't know about the menopause growing up
I
because that
didn't.
wasn't what you spoke about. We never
No.
spoke about menopause. So when I hit menopause, I was like, "What the friggin' hell's going on here?"
Yeah.
And the amount of people that I've spoke to, because I'm very straight talking and I'm very open about things. I don't give a shit. So I spoke to a couple of people and they were going through what I was going through, but they were so
Mm,
distraught because they didn't know where to go. And then I gave them some advice what to do. And then it was just so nice just reaching out and just saying, if I hadn't have spoken to you that day, I don't know where I would have been because
yeah.
they didn't know whether to speak about it. But now, if you look about it, everybody speaks about over any shit now. They speak
I
about anything.
know. And it didn't take long for that to happen, really, did it? Because you're right. I mean, I think my mum went through really early menopause because she had a hysterectomy, or a hysterical rectum, as she calls it.
I
um,
call it engine and gearbox out.
yeah, I think like when she was in her 30s. So she
Oh,
obviously went through menopause, but I suppose we were quite young then. We wouldn't have even realized, maybe noticed, apart from she shouted a lot at us. Maybe that was part of that. Or once I was a bit lippy as well. So I've always been gobby. And I said something to her like in the background, and she had never forget, she had her head in the oven, not trying to kill herself. She's trying to get the plates out that she'd been warming up for dinner. And I said something, and she just turned around and threw the whole lot at me, smashed all these plates. And I was like, whoa.
that was the menopause.
Yeah. So I think that might have been it. And it had,
Yeah,
luckily I was a little bit out of shot. And then I remember her like crying her eyes out because she'd done that. I mean, like she'd never, ever done anything like that. But I was at that really cheeky, horrible teenage lippy cow
yeah,
point of my life. And I still am really.
yeah.
But yeah, so I never really knew if she'd gone through it. But I remember like I was only early 40s waking up in the middle of the night with the
With
hot
the sweat.
sweats and thinking, what's that about? And like that still is happening now. I'm 58. So
I thought it was just the alcohol coming out of my body.
yeah. Yeah, I do know, Jenny, though it does get slightly worse when you have had alcohol. And then I'm laying there like covers on, thinking, it's that bottle of Prosecco I just drunk today. Obviously not while I was working. That was a Sunday. But yeah, so like, yeah, it definitely, and you kind of find your own way around it. I mean, luckily, I suppose we've got online and we can Google and we can find things. And I found some
Yeah, because
alternative
you haven't.
practitioners.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't get freedom of speech anymore, unfortunately. So you have to be
Mm,
careful what you say and stuff. Don't you?
yeah. Well, we're on a podcast, so we can say what we like. Mine.
I'll end up in prison for 14 days or something.
Yes, yeah, we mustn't do anything like that. But yeah, I know. So what are some of the things that sort of help keep you focused? Like, so you're obviously running a really busy business, and you're obviously probably, I don't mean obviously, you're probably supporting your husband, you're probably supporting your daughter as well, and all of those things. So what keeps you focused on the business? You've said about your ops manager. And
Yeah,
I know that's another service that you are
yeah,
helping people with. So plug it.
yeah. Oh yeah, no, definitely. So um start with how you just juggle everything, don't you? And
Mm,
I think with the business, it's really good because me and my husband work from home. So he does one side of the business, I do the other side, and we sort of it's one of those sort of scenarios. So
yeah.
we've got our fingers in a few pies. So ops manager, I've got an ops manager and she's a game changer for me. So like I said to you before, she's like my PA as well, so she'll help me organize my day, and she does the bits that I don't really want to do, to be honest with you.
Mm, mm,
I don't want to be speaking to guests and stuff. I don't want to find out that the guest hasn't got a toilet roll or needs more toilet roll or cleaned out. I don't want to know that shit. That's she filters the shit out for me to hear.
yeah.
And that's good because everybody I I spent so many years working in my business, and now you have to sort of let go a bit. I'm a bit of a control freak. So
Mm,
as your business grows, you need to learn to delegate and delegate
mm,
well. And you have to
yeah.
work on your business or in it so much because all you do is you work 7 days a week And
Yeah.
to me, that's not having a business. That's like it's like him being in prison, isn't it, really? So
I was just going to say, I mean, most of my clients are kind of in that space, and that's kind of what I suppose my superpower is, like how I help people to get out of working in their business to working on it. But you know, and a lot of my clients have like left the corporate world or left a job that they absolutely hated, and what we tend to do, and I've done it myself, is
yeah,
you create another bloody corporate cage
oh,
or prison.
yeah, you do. So that's the one thing that I am trying to get out of is, so I've been trying to help ops managers, don't matter what business you're doing. So whether you're an electrician or you're running a company and you need staff, I find people to find ops managers to help them run their business and have enough qualities to help them. And I'm proof, I'm living proof. So
Yeah,
I used to do like literally everything. I used to have virtual VAs from the Philippines that I used to have to literally handhold because
yeah.
they don't do like we do it, if you know what I mean.
Mm,
You know, they have
mm,
to have direct told what to do. So my ops manager, she's from South Africa. She's the best thing in sliced bread. She just cracks on. I give her a list. She fills me in what's going on today. She told me that about my podcast today. She sent me the link up,
yeah.
what you got to do. And that's all I needed in my life. It's just someone to just make me a bit organized.
Mm,
Husband
yeah,
tries, but then your husband, it's never the same. It's like, oh, you know everything, and with
yeah,
her, it's like, this is what you got to do. That's what you got to do. And then
yeah,
I just throw a load of stuff. She makes it all organized, and it's all there.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's to me, it's a no-brainer. So
So how did you find her or that sort of service then? Because
I
it,
found her for an agency, and then we
mm,
built up a relationship. I've had her for a year now, and I see a lot of negative things about agencies and stuff. So,
mm,
like the pricing and stuff,
yeah,
like uh, just ridiculous. So, I'm trying to find anything like this that's affordable for everybody.
yeah, yeah,
And we handhold them for like a few weeks, and we help people, you know, integrate them into what they're doing.
yeah,
And that's greed is an ugly thing, and I've noticed a lot through the last few months is that when you go out doing more networking stuff, there's a lot of greedy people out there, even online.
mm,
Greed is not it's an ugly thing, and a lot of these companies charge so much that everybody can't afford it. And
yeah, yeah,
so what we're doing as well is we're trying to help people as well with ops managers, even if they need someone part-time mornings.
yeah. Because if we can all do that, it's a bit like I found a brilliant VA, and but to start with, I was like, I didn't know whether it was going to work. I didn't know sort of what sort of risk I was taking. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do that part time and see how that works for me. And it's working really, really well for me.
Yeah,
But I also know that I'm at the point now where I need to probably take that full time. But equally, I probably need now an ops manager.
yeah. And I found
And
in the Philippines, which you're saying is great, but like with my Filipinos, but then they don't think outside the box much. That's how I
Yeah,
felt with
see,
my.
mine's not in the Philippines, mine's in Nigeria, and
All right.
she's really great, and she does think she's quite good at saying no, this needs to happen, or no,
Yeah.
that's wrong, and she's got a really great system, and she just kind of works to it, and it is through an agency, um, and they've got a really great system to help you sort of integrate. I'm with you on that piece where I've spoken to loads of agencies and I spent money with a couple of them before I got to where I am now. And they literally just ripped me off.
Yeah.
And so now I feel like you got to be really careful in the space, which is why it's good that you're doing something like this, because I think we don't want that space to have such a bad name that no one is able to run a good business from it, and that
Yeah.
we can't get the support that we need, um, and the flexibility that we need that you just can't get in the UK anymore, because it's become so expensive to either employ someone yourself or employ a VA. because the hourly rate is just astronomical.
And the South Africans, there isn't much difference in the price, which people are like, what do you mean? I went, well, there isn't much difference in the price. So my South African ops manager, she speaks to everybody, like everybody. She'll phone up
Yeah.
my the contracting companies and stuff like that, because they know who she is. Also, as well, is I couldn't get on my VAs to do that because people thought it was fake.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
They're like leaving deposits or sending money over. They always, no, we don't trust you. It's not a UK number. And it
Yeah.
was just, everything was just a drama. It's just,
Yeah. It is
so
hard, isn't it? I mean, like
yeah,
whether you're outsourcing or getting your own team, that is what becomes the drama. And I think there's two things. There's one where business owners, you said it, and I know I am and was, that is like the control freak. So it's really hard to get them to let go, and then support the person, whoever that is, to work with them to be able to do what it is that you need them to do. But then
because
equally, it's hard to
yeah,
find the right staff or
but
the
then
right team.
most people think, oh, they can't do it as good as me. My ops
Yeah.
manager now, she does it better than me, and I'm like, wind your neck in, girl, calm down.
Get out of my place.
So, and it's because you teach, if you teach them well, like I love her a bit. She's there every day, you know, even at the weekend. She doesn't work at the weekends, but I know if I message her and get her to sort something out, she'll sort something out. I need someone that's standing next to me that can give me my time back. Because
Yeah.
being a mum
Yeah.
and a grandmother, you want to be able to spend time with your family, even in the week.
Yeah.
I'm going to my granddaughter's sports day yesterday. Last week it was a swimming gala. I can go to them things and
Yeah.
have
And that's why we set up a business in the first place, isn't it? Because that is what we want. We want that freedom financially, and probably most importantly, it's time. I want
yeah.
to have that time to do what I want with my life. So when you talk about sort of mentoring and empowering, your team, your ops manager. So what is it that you do that really sort of brings them on board? What was the sort of key learning from that?
No bullshit.
Hmm.
So I mean, like, if you, this is exactly how I roll, and just have transparency. Like, everybody gives people false hopes, false dreams, false this. It's all bollocks. I'm with my team, with anybody that works for me, and you can go and, like, I've got cleaning teams, I've got maintenance guys. Transparency. If you can't do this or can't do that, you're not the person for me. Just keep me in the loop
Mm.
of what's going on. We'll work through it together. We're all a team. If one fucks up, we'll all work a way around it and we'll all get through it. You know, you just transparency and just honesty. Like, I can't do all that pussyfooting around. It's
Yeah.
draining, isn't it? It's like
And
the
I think that's probably where we've got to that, haven't we? I think in business and culture, is that we are pussyfooting around and we feel like we're on eggshells all the time because you don't want to say the wrong thing. And like, but you just want to be yourself and say, do you know what? This isn't working. I'm absolutely up for finding out what I can do better, but actually you're not doing this, that, or the other, and it's not working. And we either need to shape up or ship out. But you
yeah.
kind of, it's hard to do that. I think, especially for women, we like to dance around these things.
And I think mentoring calls, like when I do my mentoring calls, people just phone me up for a bit of a check-in. Like,
Mm,
what have you done this week?
yeah, that
And they go,
accountability.
well, no, well, why are you phoning me?
Mm,
If you ain't done nothing to improve yourself this week, then why are you phoning me?
yeah.
Phone me up, tell me something you've improved on this week. Let's celebrate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the thing, is people, like, it's like people pay to go on these courses and they pay like 20 grand or 10 grand or whatever.
Mm.
They go there every month and they're not moving, they're not progressing any further forward, not through the mentors wrongdoing. It's through the person. They've paid this money, so be accountable. Be
Mm.
accountable for this stuff because this is what you've paid for. You know, people want miracles. It ain't gonna happen. Sorry.
Yeah, I think there's you know, people want, I think people want an easy life. And that
They want
doesn't
it
come
handed to them on a
yeah.
plate.
And that doesn't come through not doing anything. Like, so like, spoiler alert, that
Yeah.
there's no such thing until you've, and even when you do, you kind of put the work in and the things in place around you and the systems, the processes, the people, the team, what, you know, what, the men, money and machines. It's still
Yeah.
not an easy life, is it? Because if you want nice things and you want to grow and scale and you want to earn more money, you want more time freedom, whatever that looks like for you, you got to put in the work to be able to do it.
Yeah, but I love money. I
Yeah,
love saying yes to the
yeah.
kids every time. Do you, yeah, have that. Yep. And then me, I love money. So I work my ass off to get that money. And then
Mm.
I find it's like it's just like people phone me up in the essay world and they say, "Oh, Jen, you know that person that you've got with the long-term booking? Can I have their number?" No, I can't. They think if they get a serviced accommodation, they can put it on booking.com and all of a sudden these guests will come along on a little stalk bird and drop down into their properties and it'll all be magic. I've worked hard to get where I am now and
Mm.
and to be at the situation, put the work in. People don't want
Yeah,
to put the work in. They want you to come along and make it all better. And then because you don't make it better and tell them the truth, they don't like it. Oh, I don't like you no more. You know, oh, I'm
yeah, yeah,
I'm already over it. I've done my nutting already. I'm
yeah.
over it.
So what would you say is next for you?
Uh, well, you say this, but like I've just me and my husband have just opened a little maintenance company. So we're
Mm.
gonna go and help people like like old people that can't change a light bulb or something like that.
Yeah,
We're gonna just have a little one-man band teams just driving around helping people like that. We've
yeah,
just got a martial arts club which is in East Sussex, and we're just working on that. Um, so we've got about, and my husband runs a sourcing business, so he helps investors find properties under the market value and all stuff like that.
right. Okay, yeah.
So it's all like, I don't know.
It's all interlinked though. I mean, that's great, you know, because you need
Yeah.
maintenance in your properties anyway. So if you've got them, then you might as well make sure they're always busy.
Well, I just want to make sure that they're earning money because they've got
Yeah,
family support and
yeah.
stuff like that. Also, with the cleaning team, because my daughter runs a cleaning team, we're trying to help her build her business.
Mm,
And I'm my most important thing now for me moving forward now is finding more management properties. So finding more landlords, tied landlords where we can try
yeah,
and help them earn some more money out there, the second properties, third properties, anywhere.
yeah,
Spain. I don't mind Spain. I don't
yeah,
see you. A couple of people have offered us to come out to Dubai. They've got some projects going on. We'd probably go out there soon just for a catch up, see,
yeah.
what it's all about. But I just want to do more management. I think I love
Mm,
people. I want to help these landlords. I just want to make sure that, I just love doing what I do. I love, most of the time when people get a management company and they're empty all the time because the management company are not putting no effort into it. They're waiting for the little guests to come fall out the sky.
yeah,
Um, but I just, if the numbers are not right, I can't work with a landlord if the numbers are not right because, people have got mortgages and bills. I just want to be transparent. It again is like,
yeah,
we can help you. Let's do it. Let's
yeah,
get hands
yeah.
dirty, get stuck in, and let's earn some dollar. That's how it is. So
Let's get some spondoolies.
yeah, I want everyone to earn some money and just live and just enjoy life. Life's too short, isn't it?
I
God's
know, but I think it's really refreshing, especially from a female business owner, because so many women like don't want to say, well, I don't want to sound greedy by saying I want to earn money or that I like money or that I want nice things. But God, if that is why you're starting your business in the first place.
yeah.
Because if you're not doing that, then you might as well go and work and work your ass off for somebody else.
Yeah, but if I've just we've got a contract with a company and some of it is like vulnerable children. Some, there's a lot of different companies we work with.
Yeah.
And like, I love doing what I do. I love
Yeah.
helping. Just like, and I'm earning, they're getting somewhere to stay, and everybody's happy. So I
Yeah.
just think people just need to just do something. Wake up in the morning and do something you love and get
Yeah.
paid for it. To me, it's a bonus. I tell my
Yeah.
daughters, find something. I don't give a shit what it is. Find something you love and then find a way to earn money out of it.
Yeah. And
Never
they're all,
unhappy.
yeah, you will. And then when you, and then if you don't love it, then find something else,
Yeah.
I think that we're not really taught or given time and space in school, college, university, in the early years of our life to think about what is it do we really want to do. We just don't spend that time to think about, well, what is it I love? What is it that I want to do? We kind of find our way, don't we?
They expect you to make that choice at 16 or 17 when you leave school. I was in my 20s. I still didn't know what to do.
Well,
I
I
was
was in
in
my
my 30s
40s.
and
Yeah.
then in my 40s, and you're still, like you said, I'm in my 50s now, and I'm like, right, I'm doing what I'm doing. I love what I do. Right, let me do something else as well. Let me try
But
something.
it's all got, I suppose, in a way, it's quite universal in terms of it's what I want to help people. And then it's like, okay, well, what's unique about you at that time, at your point of life, whatever that, with your current circumstances, constraints of reality, all of those things. It's like, what is it that you would really love to be doing? How can you earn money from that? How can you go out there and do it? And then I feel like for me, there's always been that red thread of I want to help people, but I love business. I love entrepreneurship. I've done that for over 30 years with like a 18-month stint in corporate. Like I say, I got chucked out of there because I didn't fit. But, it's been one purpose, I suppose, and many different journeys and pathways.
Yeah.
And even with my businesses, I've set something up and then like crashed it down and started again and then thought, no, this is not working for me. It's not what I really want. And just finding those different things. But there has been many pathways to kind of one purpose, which is I just love working with business owners and particularly women business owners. How can I do more of that? What's the need? How can I shape something around that?
To be honest with you, it's like anything in business. Like my husband's very in tune with things in business, and I've ran at him about things. Like it's just having support systems in business and in life, isn't it? It's like I've got some really good friends that are sort of, I could talk about business too and stuff like that. But a lot of people phone us, like me and my husband, for about business and about things that are going on, even life. We get people because as you get older, your friendship circle changes, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Everyone
Yeah.
phones you. Where for years ago, you were the one that phoned everyone else. Now, as you get older, I'm in that circle situation now where younger people phone you to get advice, and it's like
Yeah.
I love it. Do you know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
I'm straight talking tone. If it's shit, it's shit. I'll tell you. Do you know what I mean? You know, but if you really think you can earn money by breeding worms in your garden and you love doing
Do
it,
it.
do it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like
Exactly. Yeah. Follow
16-year-old
follow
know what
your
to do.
why or your passion.
Exactly.
Definitely. Well, I have loved been speaking to you as usual, Jenny. Before we go, I'm going to do a rapid fire round in a minute, but where can
Okay.
people find you?
Right. So you can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever.
Tune in for the rants on TikTok.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the management company is called Tot Stay Hosts. If I send it all out to you, Tone, maybe you could post it on your LinkedIn or something like
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. And it will be in the show notes. So like check out the show
Yeah.
notes to connect to Jenny. We will put all of those in there.
And I'll put my
Um,
telephone number if you want some advice or anything like that.
yes.
Whatever.
Phone Jenny's hotline or check her out on TikTok having a rant. So before we go, I've got a little rapid fire.
Go.
What's your favorite book or podcast right now? Obviously, there is one that's special,
Power,
but
Power of the Pussy. Power of the Pussy book.
Power of the Pussy.
And they
Oh,
do one or two. Every woman has got to read it. If you don't read it, you ain't lived, girlfriends.
okay. Who's that? Bye.
Oh, I'll send you the link and you can share
Yes,
it.
we'll put it in the
Really
show
good.
notes. Okay,
Yeah,
ladies.
definitely. And
We
obviously,
want
I'll
to hear
do
about that.
absolutely. My girls have read it as well. How sad am I?
Oh, excellent. Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay, this is something else we don't talk about, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
probably a little more, less easy to talk about than menopause, but menopause was hard to talk about before. So let's do another session on that one then.
Exactly.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I used to be a night owl, but now I'm a morning person.
I love the mornings. I love that
Yeah.
5 a.m. time. When do you know it's time to pivot, and how do you do it gracefully?
Pivot in what, life or business?
Both, any.
In life, to pivot in life, I think as you get older, you need to just stand back and just look at the whole picture. And then once you see the picture, you tend to think you change your whole outlook on life. I think it
Yeah,
always happens in my 50s. When I started my 50s, I thought I saw everything in different eyes, if you know what I mean.
yeah, yeah,
And in business, when you've got to pivot, you know when you're spending too much time on your business.
yeah,
You need to, step back, reassess the situation, put things in place, and to get your time back. Life's
yeah.
too short, like I said to you before, you know, I don't want to wake. I'm going on holiday next week. I know that I can spend an hour on my phone, take my phone, I can run my business from my phone for a whole week. I'm living the best life. That's what you need to do.
Oh, well, on that note, Jenny, we'll leave it. Live your best life. It's
Your
been a
best.
pleasure to catch up with you and chat
And
again. And
cheers.
yeah, we should definitely come back for a couple of sequels.
Part 2 coming
Yeah.
soon.
So check out Jenny's details. They're in the show notes, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Take care.
Thanks, guys.